Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel at Lady D. This will be my video on Robert Kennedy Jr. and it's going to be about on his astrology chart. We'll also explain why he wasn't going to become president. I already had looked in his chart a while ago and I could see that he probably wasn't going to become president this time. And also when we get to 4 years down the track, when it's up for election time again, his chart's not very positive in terms of getting elected either. But let's look at the chart and then I'll be able to explain everything as from what I see in the chart. So this is for entertainment purposes only, and everybody reads the chart differently. This is just how I read the chart and how I've been taught. So, and what I've sort of worked out with the astrology, my own intuition as well. So let's look at his chart. So let's see, I'm going to share my screen and then we can go. Okay, so this is his astrology chart. So I have him born on the 17th of January 1954 in Washington at 5:32 p.m. That's the time that I found on the internet. Now, he is an ascending Leo, which is the same as Donald Trump, but he has a Capricorn sun and also a Cancer moon. So with him, he comes across as that very popular kind of guy. He comes across as like maybe having a bit of an ego, very confident. Leo risings, like Donald Trump is also a Leo rising. They're very confident people. It's how they come across. They've got that Leo, that energy behind them of that Leo energy, and it's how people sort of see them, even though he's not a Leo. When we get underneath that layer of what we see, he's actually a Capricorn sun, so he's actually very down to earth. Let's get things done. He fits into that government kind of sector because it's all about law and order, and he's about following the rules, probably about being fair. Interesting about Capricorn, they're all about law and order, but they'll bend the rules to suit them. If no one's gonna find out, they're quite happy to bend the rules. They're all about endurance, getting the work done. They are very hardworking people. They are very structured people, and not that everything has to be done the right way. It's more like I've got a Capricorn moon myself, so it's more like taking control of the situation, but just making sure things are done properly and they're getting it done with Capricorns. They lighten up as they get older as well, but more serious as they're children or younger. But as they lighten up, they get as they get older, they lighten up. Also with Capricorns, there's usually also something about them having to take responsibility too, whether it be in their family dynamics. Usually family dynamics, they take on a lot of responsibility as well, being the Capricorn there. Now, Cancer moon, he is someone who doesn't like to show like a lot of emotion here. Capricorn is not an emotional sign. Cancer sort of holds the emotion in, but once you break it, the emotion does come out once you break that hard shell. He's a bit of a homebody, even though he might come across as being very social, but he's more of a homebody, nurturer, homemaker, and also Cancerians are natural healers too. So that's a fun fact about Cancers. So he has those traits too. He sees his mum as a Cancer, so he sees his mum as maybe a homebody, homemaker, nurturer, lady. The thing is, it is in his 12th house. Now, that might mean he might not tell his mum everything. 12th house is where we hide things. It's also karmic. So he brings karma from a past life to do with the mother into this life. Also with Uranus there, he some sort of revolution or upheaval also brings into this life too. But his mum, I'm not sure. I never read up on these celebrities. I just read the charts, so I don't know a lot about him personally. But with that there, it's either his mum maybe died. It could be that either they've passed away younger. It's basically this is where we hide things. So in some way or form, his mother is hidden, whether she's out of the spotlight, whether he doesn't spend much time with her, maybe he doesn't tell her, maybe emotionally they're not on the same track and maybe he hides his emotions from her. There's or they live far apart, there's something about the mother being hidden in that 12th house there. Okay. He has that Pluto in the first house. Now, that can mean, as you find Pluto in the first house, people who have that, especially he's in Leo, he can get quite angry. He also can be quite quite assertive as well. But like they have big anger. People who have Pluto in the first house can get be quite angry. It also can be that perhaps when they were born, there could be like a life-threatening birth. It also could be a great deal that goes on beneath the surface that we don't see. It also can mean that his life will be very intense, having that Pluto in the first house. But it's like a lot goes on that we don't see. But also it's that like a bad anger that I find when people have Pluto in that first house there. Now, just because this video, we're not going to cover every house here, just where the planets are, just to make it a bit shorter video. So in the 4th house, he has Neptune, he's got Saturn, and he's got Mars here. So with Neptune in the first house, Neptune in the 4th house, sorry, that is a dissolving aspect here. So what you find where people have Neptune in the 4th house, their family dynamics somehow dissolve. So we've had, like in his family, there's been a lot of like deaths in his family. There's been a lot of things in his family where it has created like some sort of dissolving like a dissolving there, where they got his uncle that was assassinated, then you got his dad as well, and other parts of the family that's been going on. So like the Kenndey curse, but he's actually born Neptune there, so that's going to dissolve the family. The Saturn here, problems in the family as well. So for him, family for him, it's not smooth sailing. There's a bit of a anger here as well. His IC is in Libra. So with that, he might be a bit of a peacemaker within the family. He probably needs to find security in family as well. But he plays like the harmonious part here, like the peacemaker. And he's probably just wants everything to be nice, even just easygoing. But he's got all these planets here, which state it doesn't really go that way for him in the family. With his Mercury, he has Mercury also in Capricorn. So the way he thinks, the way he speaks, it's very much for him, it's about structure, it's about law and order, following the rules. Let's just do things done. Don't get upset. Don't get too emotional. We're just gonna get it done. He's very much being of service here. His Mars in Scorpio, when he gets angry, I always say Mars in Scorpio, they don't get angry, they get even. They can be quite revengeful when they do get angry. So be quite sharp when he gets angry there with that Scorpio Mars. Venus in Capricorn, he likes women who are very like structured, organized, basically got their stuff together. That's what he's liking in a partner as well. But interesting that we've got the Neptune there in that 4th house. Okay, the 6th house here, which is completely, and a lot of the charts that I've been doing at the moment with celebrities, they have one house that's just full of planets. And in this case, it is his 6th house. So the house, I read this house of health. Other astrologers will read it as a career house. I don't really. I read the 10th as the career, and I read the 6th as health. Although in saying that, sometimes, things may happen, but I just read this more as health than career. Otherwise, we've only got 2 planets looking at health. Okay. So now he's having the sun, he's actually about being of service, but also in Capricorn, he's about being of service anyway, especially in terms of governments and where you are. Now there is a conjunction here with also his Mercury, and he's also, we've got Venus, we've got kind of a conjunct here, we've got Jupiter, opposition to Uranus, so we get unexpected communication also comes up with him too. It's also that got an opposition between here. Uranus is also opposing these planets here, which can create some unexpected things can come up towards relationships and communication and things like that. But I'm just trying to see where I just want to zoom in here and get, you can see all these conjunctions here and all this, what's going on. Okay, so we got Venus is conjunct node, because that's going to be Chiron there. There's node, Venus, the sun, and there's Mercury. Okay, so health. His spotlight is all about health, and from what I have seen of him and what he talks about, that's what's been coming up a lot with him, is about certain health issues and certain health aspects there and happening in America on the topics that he's speaking out, because his Mercury is here, so he thinks about health. He talks a lot, probably communicates a lot about it. It's very important to him with the sun being there and having these planets all kind of close together as well. We've got part of his life lesson. It's not about being of service, but following like sort of law and order. His life lessons also about his health. It's also, since it's conjunct with Venus, it's all about money. It's also about relationships here. He's got Chiron in this 6th house too, so he probably has a little bit of health issues for him. His health is probably it's like his emotional pain here. I dare say probably feels bad what's happening around the place with what's going on in America and around the world at the moment in terms of health issues. And the last couple of years, I know he's been advocating hard for what's been happening, and it sort of explained it just with his natal planets here. There's a lot of stuff here happening in that 6th house. Pretty much good health overall that he does have, but also you can see health issues being here. And there's also, of course, you've got Uranus in that 12th house on the other side of the chart opposing them, and it's also going to bring about unexpected health issues as well when we get to be here. But he hides his emotions here. He hides his emotions a lot, but unexpected health. And that explains that thing with his voice, considering also that Uranus also deposes at Mercury, so it affects his communication. And from what I've heard, it's an unusual reason why he's got that health issue with his voice there. Okay, so I'm just trying to up. Okay, have a look. Okay, so we've got nothing up here. I'll go to the transits in a moment. Now, the 11th house here, house of friends. He's very social person. He's a person that keeps his friends around. He probably likes to make certain partnerships here. He's a guy that he likes friends, and he's very social and luck with friends. So probably a very likable guy. With Jupiter being there and friends mean a lot to him. That's kind of his natal there. Now with his transits, what's going on? With this Pluto that's so close over this Mercury here, he's also last couple of years had Pluto hit his sun. It's been an intense few years for him actually, because had Pluto that's come in and hit all these planets. So it's been a tough while, at least a tough 5 years, let's say, for him. So maybe a few years back when it had Pluto over his sun, that would have been a big ending in his life, in some way or another, some sort of big ending with this communication. Mercury here, so Pluto over Mercury, it's some sort of transformation over communication. It could be an ending of communication with someone. It could be a change of some big change, but it's something that's going to be a big destruction and rebuild to do with communication here. That's what Pluto does. It destroys, but it rebuilds. Okay. Also, having this Pluto in this 6th house, and it has been there since, I'm going to estimate, maybe 2010 or 12, perhaps. He has had some health issues that have come up. I dare say his health hasn't been the best. But what helps him is that he's got a lot of positive planets here. So he's got the Venus, the Sun, and also Mercury really helps him with his health. Now up here, the 8th house, we've got Saturn here. That has been money issues over the last about year and a half. There would have been some money issues for him that's been happening. the 9th house here, which is all about we've got Chiron and we got Neptune here. 9th house is psychic, it's travel, it's learning. So we had maybe a bit of issues in terms of these areas here. Maybe if he's had travel plans, things haven't gone according to plan with that. Then in his 10th house, the 10th house is what I read as career. Now, he has Uranus going through this house. It's going to be there for another about a year and a bit. That's unexpected in his career. Now, Chiron has already come in. It's actually retrograded out, but it was in. But when I looked at this chart a few months ago, it was already in here. And when I saw that, I knew straight away he wasn't going to be president, or if he did, it would be very hard for him. And it's that Chiron, and it's going to be there for a while, a long time. So for him, it's just going to, his career may not be going as how he wanted to be. It's going to be hard and a bit of a challenging thing there. Yes, we're seeing him coming out with Trump. That's the unexpected. With Uranus, we don't know what you're going to get. It's unexpected. It's unusual there in his career. I saw him breaking away from a Democratic Party, kind of starting up his own party. I saw that. And but now he's coming out endorsing Trump. So everyone's sort of like, it's been unexpected. And that's that Uranus. You don't know what you're going to get with Uranus there in that 10th house. It's not a bad planet. I don't hate Uranus. I do like it. But yeah, unexpected. Jupiter is in his 11th house, and he's got his Jupiter return here. It's quite good with friends, being more social, networking. So you see him being more with Trump, and that's also again with this Jupiter, networking with friends. So that's coming together there. And then when we get to next year, it's going to be more about his health. When Jupiter hits the sun over here, it is going to be something positive for his home, whether he moves home or improves his home somehow, or someone moves in, someone moves out, whatever happens, it's positive. He's actually going to feel quite good with that transit. He gets a pay rise once Jupiter comes down in this 2nd house here. Now, if we go forward 4 years down the track for the next election, and we can see, and the chart looks okay now, but when we get to 4 years in the time, I'll show you. This is why I say 4 years down the track, I still say, unfortunately, this man will not become, I can't see how he's going to become president, or if he does, it's going to be very, very hard. Okay, so when we get to 4 years down the track, good thing Pluto is coming out of that 6th house there. It's going to his 7th house. That could be a bit of issues there with relationships going on through that long transit. And that's a long transit. The outer planets, they're long transits. Things happen over time. When we go to this 10th house here, the career, okay, we got the Chiron, which is there. Not going in and out anymore. It's definitely in that 10th house now. We've got Saturn there has joined it. By that time, Saturn's gone through that 8th, it's gone through the 9th, and then it's coming to the 10th. Now, Chiron itself, I've gone through a Chiron transit in my 10th house. The way that Chiron works through that transit, it's not a full circle, so it can be on a slow, it's like slow moving, then it goes sort of fast. Lucky for me, it was a bit faster when it was in my 10th house, my 20s. But it was a hard transit. I remember towards the part of it, I felt like crying at work every time. I had a bully as a boss, and it was just terrible. But he's got that with Saturn. So he's got Saturn is problems, and it's going to be very good. They would have conjuncted as well in 2028. I just don't see this as being, unfortunately, someone that's going to be president of America. He has the personality for it. He's even got the MC in Aries. With that, it's about leadership. It's about being assertive and outgoing, and wants to make things happen as well. It could be a bit of lacking stamina there, but he's really trying that force to be reckoned with that MC there, plus being a Capricorn, plus having that ascending Leo. He's got all the makings there in terms of personality. to be a president, even his Mercury in Capricorn. But just with the transits that are coming up here, it's not looking positive. I mean, he does have Uranus over Jupiter here, which is going to bring about some unexpected luck, which could be anything. It is, which could be anything. That's what Kamala Harris has at the moment. That's why sort of she's somehow jumped popularity for her. Jupiter, if the election was on a year earlier, so if the election was in 27, I would say, yeah, there's a chance that he would become president, because Jupiter in the second house, his pay rise, it's good for your earnings. That's how Trump got into power in 2016. He had Jupiter in his second house. But when we get to 28, it's in his third house, which is house of siblings. He's getting along with his sisters and brothers, siblings. It also helps with communication here, but it's not work. He's got a lot of square oppositions here too, as well. Sometimes he can be blinded by certain things here in terms of communication as well. Not much tries. It's better that good to have tries and sextiles, not a lot of squares. He's very much a helper, cardinal sign. He's a helper. He likes to help people. He's not very adjustable. Okay, he's not very flexible. He's more of a helper and a little bit stubborn. So I feel like for this man, I feel like he is kind of like a American hero. I feel like he's very honorable in what he says. He cares very much for the people, and I feel like he's very sincere as well. So just going to stop the sharing now. Stop sharing. I feel like that it is a shame. I just feel he has a lot of empathy. I feel like he's very kind. He's very nurturer, and that he really cares a lot about the people that's happening around him. I feel like that he's a family man. I also feel like he has the drive and he's outgoing. It's just that people don't listen to him, and it's like they don't listen to him before it's too late. I feel like, though, he'll always be a force to be reckoned with, because he'll always fight to be heard. I feel like that Trump will give him some sort of honorable job if Trump gets in power. I feel like that he does have a key to success here. It's like he has a hidden key that I feel like that he has. I feel like he's very passionate about his family and about his work and his career. I feel like he doesn't like bullies. And I feel like that he always finds, as I say, with that Mars in Scorpio, he finds ways around it. So if he gets bullied or people try to manipulate him, he'll find a way to get back at that person in some way, somehow. But I feel like he's all about creating partnerships that are going to help him to move further in his career. I feel like he stands for what's right and what's true as well. I don't know if you know, I do know of in the Kennedys that poor girl who was JFK's sister, and she was ended up putting into a home, and what the father did to her was very sad. And I do feel like that this man, if he was alive, if he knew of this, he would be standing up like he's for justice. This man is for justice, is what I feel. There's been a lot of tragedy in his family. There's also a lot of secrets that go on behind closed doors too. But I feel like even with that, he stands up for what's right as well. So that is my reading, or my astrology reading on JFK Jr. I didn't want to add, I am going to do one on the presidency, where I'm going to look at 4 charts. I'll look at Trump's chart, Kamala's chart, and I want to look at the second in charge people's chart as well. Because that, and I thought if I add this chart into that, it's going to be way too long. And I feel like this man's chart is quite interesting, standing alone, and I feel like it is worth for him doing that. I do feel like that he helps people, and I do feel like him backing up Trump is going to help him too. Because like I know from looking at Trump's chart, Kamala's chart, to me it's a clear winner that Trump would win. But I want to look at the other people's charts too, because I think that can also alter things, and it's going to see things, because from where I feel it's coming up for that too. Okay. If there's any other celebrities you want me to do, please let me know and I will have a look at them. I also am going to do make a video on Jennifer Lopez and also on Ben Affleck's chart, see why they break up. It was very clearly you can see why in their charts why they're not together and why it would never work. So I'm going to do that as well. I think that's it for this video. So thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and I will see you for my next video. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye for now.